guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're speed cleaning the girls' room, organizing the closet a bit with some inexpensive and really awesome shoe storage containers. We're also going to be getting their uniforms ready, getting their school supplies together, labeling and organizing our homeschool area. They go back to school next week, so I just wanted to make sure that everything was ready to go for them. We're starting off in the bedroom now. I know it doesn't look like that much stuff, but the amount of little bits that were in that room took us about 2 days to fully get under control, start to finish. I usually try to have them play with their toys in the toy room, even though their toys are actually stored in the bedroom. We take like a bin down and it goes in the toy room, gets cleaned back up and gets put away. That way there's only one area that really needs to be micromanaged by me on a daily basis, not 3. But as you guys know, James was in that room while we were doing his board and batten, and so all of this stuff was 1 month of bits, toys accumulating in the bedroom. So now I'm just starting how I typically always start when it comes to little projects like this, and that's to make a bed, put everything on the bed that's on the floor, that's underneath things, on surfaces, get it all up there in one big pile, and then after I get all the surfaces and the floors cleaned, then I make like these little piles, and that's kind of how I tackle it. Can you guys start to see all the little bits accumulating? It really is so much. Anyways, if you're new here, I'm Amanda from Simply Amanda Lee. Me and my husband Dustin have 3 children, Brooke, James, and Emma Rose, and I post weekly videos, speed cleaning, organizing, meals, family life, in general, getting it all done. So if you are interested in that style of content, please consider subscribing. We added this TV we had lying around to the girls' room this summer so they could watch documentaries at night. It's not something we'll use during the school year except for maybe a Saturday night. I was going to pull it out of their room, but we really don't have a good place to store it. I don't even know where it was before. Dustin grabbed it, but anyways, I think it's going to live there for now. Oh, and something I wanted to mention, you could try if you struggle to have your kids clean up their toys. I mentioned earlier that I micromanage the toy room. Now that does not mean that they are not expected to clean up their things. They definitely are, but I generally just go back behind them and get all the little bits and bring it back to what I would consider order, because their definition of clean is different than my definition of clean, of course. However, I feel like it's always a battle to keep them on task to clean up. And with my older ones, I feel like they are mature enough and show maturity in this way in other areas that I should not have to remind them every 5 minutes to clean up and to stay on task. So typically asking them to clean up their toys, it takes like 2 hours, which is way longer than it should take them. And I'm truthfully just very done with like, hey, did you clean up? Hey, are you guys cleaning up? Hey, are you guys cleaning up? We have tried everything, and I do mean everything, to remedy it, but I finally found something that works, you guys. So I asked them to clean their toys and room once now. That's it. I do PM checks, and during those checks, I decide if they did a good enough job to earn any media time the next day. They want that media time because I have not had a single issue since we started this. They clean it up quickly, they stay on task, and they do a better job than they did before. So, oh, and something else we've done that's worked for a long time, like years, that I wanted to mention that can kind of go with that and maybe help your child is to take a picture of their clean space after you've cleaned it one time so that they have some sort of visual reference of what their clean space should look like. It's not going to be perfect, of course, but it's just that good visual reminder for them to evaluate if they finish cleaning. Like if they look at the picture and then they look at the room and they say, oh, there's clothes on my floor. This is not what the picture looks like. I need to get those clothes. That really helps and has worked really well for our kids. Typically, I'm someone who leans artwork instead of hanging it because I'm so indecisive and I don't want to put unnecessary holes in the wall. However, I feel like I have so much freedom in this house because we do really plan on painting everything. So I'm like, I need to go ahead and just hang everything and figure out where I want it, just so that when we do paint, then I'm not going back and trying to do this and messing up our nice new walls. So anyways, Brooke has had these pictures. We did like a mommy-daughter paint class, which are the 2 owls. One is hers, one is mine. And then this empty frame I'm hanging up so that she can put like her artwork of the week in there that she really likes, so that she could just kind of tape it in there, and hanging up just a couple other paintings. Now, the difference between me and Dustin, I guess you haven't seen him work too much yet. You will in the board and batten video, but he is so meticulous and so precise, and here I am just like, we'll just stick a nail in the wall. It'll be fine. This looks right where my finger is. So obviously things aren't super straight, clearly, and the space in between the pictures is not incredibly even, but it is what it is. I like the collage of pictures. Brooke likes it. We're all good. Over the years with the kids, we've had toddler beds and we've never really had a great experience with them. So for Ems, we were like, we're just going to put the crib mattress on the floor and see how that goes. And that has been honestly the best thing. They're not rolling off of it. I don't have to deal with like sticking a pool noodle underneath it or having those side rails. There's nothing that's getting broken. It's literally just a mattress, and we can tuck it underneath Brooke's bed if we need to. Originally, we were going to do bunk beds in this space when we moved in for the girls, but we toyed with putting Brooke in into our bonus room, which is the toy room, and closing that room in for her. And at one point it was a certainty, but now we're not so sure. I definitely like Brooke and Emma Rose in the same room together. I think learning to live with each other is a good, could instill a good virtue in them, and learning to be patient with one another. We still might end up in the future when Brooke is older closing in that room. And so I really don't want to invest in this massive bunk bed in this little space if it's just going to be Emma Rose one day. So that's where we are with that. And I would really like to have her have a normal bed at this point. I think she's old enough for it, but there's honestly just not space in the room for another bed unless we do a bunk bed. So we're just kind of at a standstill. I really don't know what to do. If you guys have any ideas, definitely let me know. So now we're working on those little piles that I created off of the big pile. And anytime I do like a deep clean for their bedrooms, I'm responsible for getting all the little bits. I don't expect them to pull everything out in the same way that I would. However, they still have to help me and put things back where they go once I've created those piles. Sometimes they help me organize those piles. I really want to instill in them to not only pick up after themselves, but to be responsible with their things, and picking up after myself and putting things back immediately where they go when you're done with them is something that I was never taught when I was a child, and it has been incredibly challenging for me. I feel like I start things and I don't finish them. And so that's something I'm trying to actively work on and instill at them at the same time, which is a difficult task because I wish I had mastered something before I'm trying to teach it, honestly, but it is what it is. And I've explained to them that I didn't learn this, and when we don't put things back where they go, it creates so much more work for us and we can't find our things. And, I've really gone through why it's important. And so we're really working on that together as a family. My husband, on the other hand, is fantastic at it. So really he should be teaching it. Anyways, and now I realized at this point that something was stuck in our vacuum, and I went and got pliers, and it was a Barbie present. We also had more things stuck in there. Can you guess what it is? Legos. There's always Legos and balloons and streamers from James's birthday party. I guess those got sucked up when I let the kids use a vacuum. They use a vacuum all the time, a lot of times on their own. Anyways, now it's the next day, and so I'm just starting by getting Brooke's bed made. So while I did get the bedroom done the day before, mostly I still had to steam clean, but I wanted to go ahead and get this closet sorted. The shoe situation definitely needs to be handled, and this closet just honestly drives me crazy having stuff on the floor. I can never open the door or get to their clothes to hang them up properly, and so we are going to pull every single thing out of this closet and try to make it as minimal as possible. Now the closet is nice and clean. There's nothing on the floor. So we're gonna go ahead and go through the kids' new uniforms for the year. I've gotten all their clothes kind of organized into categories. And so this is our next step, making sure that their clothes fit them properly, which they all did, thank goodness. Those socks are super cute. They are way taller than I thought they were going to be, though. I feel like we could have got a size down on her because when she has them on and she has her skirt on, it looks like she just has tights on. But she'll grow into them. It's no big deal. And I love how on the Land's End uniforms, the girls' pants have a pink strip and the boys have a blue strip. So that's how you know whose are whose. The shirts, on the other hand, I feel are more neutral to where I cannot figure out whose is whose. So generally, I take a permanent marker and just write on the tag like B or J.
Stay here, no, ain't gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe, striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. This summer night, this summer night. Sleeping in the back of a van, roaming in the wilderness. We'll never need a plan. We'll be alright, just you and I. Singing from the top of our lungs, dancing by the lakeside. Gonna do it while we're young. In a moment it will all be gone. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. This summer night, this summer night. This summer night, this summer night. Someday we will look back and our hearts will be whole again. I want to remember all that happened to us. 'Cause
Now that I got the shoes organized into what we're keeping of Brooks for M's one day, a pile that we're donating, and I've also sorted through what we're keeping, we're gonna start putting together these shoe organizers. I originally bought these from my closet clean out and organize, but I thought I would go ahead and use them for the girls. When I bought these, I wasn't so sure that I bought the right size, so this was a good opportunity to see if I needed to go up a size and to test the quality because they're so inexpensive compared to pretty much every other shoe organizer like this that I looked at. And to be honest, I felt like it was probably too good to be true. They're not acrylic, of course, but they are incredibly well made and designed product. I'm super satisfied with them. I went ahead and ordered 2 packs for my closet as well, and I'll probably end up getting another pack for the girls to split. I'm a size 9.5 shoe, and so most of my shoes will have to go in sideways, which I'm okay with because they'll fit better in my closet and I can use more than if I went up a size. There's 12 in a pack, and I think it works out to roughly $3 a piece, which a lot of other ones are like $20 a piece. So again, I think it's just well worth the money and just such a good deal for some serious shoe organization. My only, and I do mean only, critique of them would be that although you can attach them in columns and they're really sturdy, they don't break apart, the column itself can't attach to the next column that you make if you make them into columns, which you'll see when I put them in the girls' closet, which for my closet won't be an issue at all, but for the girls, I would prefer that it was a solid unit, but also it's really not that big of a deal and I could probably find a way to attach them if I needed to, but I just thought it's something that I'd mention. So we definitely went back and added more shoes into this after that we'd found, around the house. So for Brooke, her side ended up doing pretty well with 2 pairs of shoes in each one of these, and she's a size 1-2 to give you a little bit of perspective. And with Emma Rose, she's a size 8 or 9 in little kids, and we're able to fit about 3 in each one of these. I also think that these storage containers would be good for so many different areas of your house that you might need storage in. So I could see doing toys in here, stuffed animals, or even like arts and crafts supplies. I've seen people store like a lot of their Cricut supplies in them. So just a variety of uses and a really ingenious designed product. The very best thing about these though is that it really encourages Ems to put her shoes away instead of just throwing them in the middle of her room, which is what she typically does. Like she wants to go put them back properly. And like, isn't that all of us though, whether you're a little kid or an adult? If things are organized well and you have a good system, you want to put things back where they go. The last thing we really needed to get done in this room is to steam clean it. And for those of you who have little kids or have ever had little kids, you can imagine why I would need to somewhat regularly steam clean the carpets. So I'm going back over each space 2 or 3 times just to ensure that I got everything up I could possibly get up. And really though, when I pulled the water tank out, like the dirty water tank, I expected it to be a lot worse than what it was. You'll see it's not that bad.
You could be the one I trust. All the second chances are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love, the things I love, the things I love, the things I love, 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 the things I love, the things I love. Be one of the things I love, the things I love, the things I love, the things I love, 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 the things I love, the things I love.
this is what the hallway looked like after I got done with that. James's room was still unfinished. It was pure chaos everywhere. It's the reality, though, of doing projects. We'd gotten all the board and batten up, and so now we were just starting to paint it, but we paused because we had caulked like the nail holes and stuff, but after it had dried, it like kind of sunk into the wood, and so we wanted to perfect that and go back in and recalk it again before we started painting. So that's what we were doing there. Now I'm starting on our homeschool cabinet. If you guys are new here or you just aren't aware, we do a hybrid homeschool model. So our kids attend a private school 2 days a week, and then we teach them, or I teach them, the other 3 days a week. And I guess it would be similar to a co-op, but ours is considered a private school, and they provide all of the curriculum, so we are not in charge of the curriculum at all. Of course, we do have flexibility because we're homeschooling to teach them additional things and to go about our teaching in the manner in which we think works best for our child. So that's a benefit to it. But we have our lesson plans that are made for us each week, which I really like. I just think it's really a perfect model for our family. I enjoy, just in full honesty, I enjoy having 2 days a week to kind of regroup. I feel like I'm a better teacher that way. And not only that, but I can kind of get, grocery shopping done and, any doctor's appointments or anything I need done there. And so I do like having a little bit more time. Ems, of course, does stay home with me, and we are going to start some kind of K4 learning for her this year, just because I think she'll want to be involved, which is basically just going over her ABCs. So basically I'm trying to make this cabinet work. As the kids get older and we accumulate more books and all of that, we are really getting to our full capacity. So the next thing that we really need to get done, our next project, is to get shelves in the closet underneath the stairs, because even though I just organized and cleaned that out without some sort of shelving, and I'm really trying not to buy any like cube systems for it, but it's just kind of always chaotic in there, as best as I can possibly organize it right now. And we just need our back stock of books and school supplies to go in that area. So now I'm going through the kids' back to school stuff and labeling everything and just making sure that they had all of their supplies that they needed. I did end up having to pause this day because I realized that I'm guessing I had read the wrong grade for Brooke, and so I had gotten a lot of items that she didn't need and had to go get the items that she actually needed. So I had to come to a stopping point there, but I'm getting everything labeled, and I'm going to go through and get my Cricut out and make a label for her pencil box as well. And then I also have these easy grammar books out, and so that's really, again, what's good about the flexibility of how we do our school model, is that I'm adding in easy grammar. This is not something that the school does, but she's starting Latin this year, and my grammar background is terrible. So I had another like homeschool mom recommend the easy grammar to me. So we're going to do that in addition to our grammar lessons that we do with the school, just to kind of get a more solid foundation there. Unfortunately, I ended up putting this label on backwards and I didn't realize it until I gave it to Brooke and opened it up and I was like, oh, wait a minute, that's not right. But I didn't go back and change it. It's not that big of a deal. This is actually going to be used for her backstock at school, so it's not what she's going to be using every single day. But I decided to go ahead and personalize it with a frog for her. Her favorite animals are reptiles, so I knew that she would really like that. It's the next day. I got all my supplies that I still needed from Target the night before, and I am so ready to get all this stuff off the floor. It's been sitting there for 3 days. And I'm also going to be working on our other homeschool cabinet, which is a dresser, credenza. It's probably meant to be a dresser, but we'll call it a credenza since it's not in a bedroom. Anyways, so I'm going to be working on getting that organized and functioning really well for us for back to school. It's actually been moved from the position you guys are going to see it in, and it's actually in between our two windows in our living room now, but I'll include all of that in a deep clean video that's upcoming of our living room.
I'll be there for you, I'll be there for you. 'Cause when we are together, I know you feel the tension. Just let me in your head so I can be there.
So I just wanted to go over how I decided to organize this cabinet because I do think it's not the easiest thing to organize. So the very top row is going to be all my teacher's manuals and the things that I'll take out the night before and set on the counter, and the ones that are off to the side are ones I don't access quite as much. And then the middle section is not all of our literature, but a good chunk of our literature that will fit in there. And then the bottom is kind of grab and go, easy things that the kids need to use on a daily basis that they don't bring to school. This credenza houses the majority of our school supplies, the ones that are backstock and the ones that we'll use on a daily basis. And I also have my teacher drawer on the far right here, which is going to be expo markers and post-it notes, just things that I'll need, stapler, stuff like that. And then I also house my Cricut in here and my Cricut supplies, as well as this is kind of some backstock of tech, but we're going to be pulling that out and putting that in the closet underneath the stairs because, I just need to put more stuff in there. Anyways, hopefully we'll get that sorted in the next 6 months though, and it won't be such a big deal, but I just really needed that bottom to put my laminator and some textbooks and teacher's manuals that I'll need to use later on in the school year, and I wanted to make sure I knew exactly where they were and had easy access to them. So basically all of this, it's I'm just trying to put the puzzle together and make everything fit properly because I didn't really plan this out before. Also, I did have my back stock of school supplies that I hardly ever touched in this middle drawer right here, this top middle drawer, and then the school supplies that I use on a daily basis on the far left, which where this credenza was didn't really make sense at all because the chair is kind of right in front of there. So to access that left drawer is kind of hard. So you'll see I'm going to go ahead and swap these two drawers because that makes the most sense. Of course, it doesn't really matter since we've moved the credenza to the kind of middle space of the living room and there's no chairs in front of it. But at the time, it's what made the most sense. And now I'm just going through and sharpening all of our colored pencils to get those ready for the new school year.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, let's take a look at our weather forecast today.
Today's forecast, a lot of sunshine, blue skies, marine clouds. Just a perfect day to go outside and relax. That's your forecast. We'll be right back.
Yeah, sunny days, sunny days, sunny days. No clouds in the sky, about to get away. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Sunny day, make way. All the stress and doubt, yeah, not today. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Got the Tropicana, fresh cut sushi on a platter. Brandy, honey, it don't matter, shots till I drop. Gonna be 24/7, golden hour like a boss. And they say, yo, guess you got a 2 o'clock appointment for a champagne shot, whoa, yeah. I'm busy tryna take it higher. Got no time for never, only spending cheddar. Wish I could do this forever. Chilling with the hottest company. They all wanna welcome me to their private penthouse suite. Yeah, now I got the key. Rooftop pool, got a heli on speed.
That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and until next time, bye.
We invite only positivity to this party. Don't want no drama with any bad karma. Got a lot of that in La Vida Loca. Just wanna let it all go.